Welcome back, my amazing treasure hunters and coin lovers. Today we are stepping right into one of the most unbelievable discoveries in American coinage history, a story that has stunned collectors, shocked experts, and left the entire numismatic world questioning whether they ever truly understood the hidden secrets behind the smallest everyday coins. This unbelievable journey takes us into the life, mystery, errors, value, and unexpected rise of the Liberty One Dime 1968 United States coin, a coin that looks ordinary on the outside but hides one of the most extraordinary stories within its tiny silver-colored surface. As you listen, you might start thinking about that little jar of coin sitting somewhere in your home, because after today, you will never look at any dime the same way again, especially not the legendary 1968 dime whose rare error version has been valued by collectors at an unbelievable market price soaring up to $292 million. A number so impossible that people thought it was a joke until the experts confirmed its legitimacy. The story begins in a year that was already filled with transformation, tension, dreams, and history. The year 1968 was a turning point in the United States. Music, politics, culture, space exploration, everything was changing at lightning speed. Even the United States Mint was navigating a wave of pressure because just a couple of years before, the country faced a silver shortage so deep that it forced the mint to remove silver from dimes and quarters. The new copper-nickel coins were introduced in 1965, and by 1968, the mint was still adjusting, still experimenting, still refining its methods, and still dealing with unexpected production problems. These problems would eventually lead to one of the strangest, rarest, and most valuable minting mistakes ever discovered on a dime. Collectors believe that the extremely valuable 1968 Liberty dime is not simply rare, but an accidental masterpiece created by a perfect storm of minting errors layered upon each other in a way no one expected and that could not be easily repeated. This coin's value exploded because of a combination of impossible circumstances: a mint mark mistake, an unidentified planchet mix, a striking anomaly, and a visually confusing finish that no one could explain for decades. Each one alone would have made the coin rare. But all of them combined together in a single tiny dime created a piece of history so unbelievable that experts now believe only one real specimen exists in confirmed condition, with rumors that a second one might still be hiding somewhere in a forgotten drawer or mixed inside an old roll of coins waiting to be discovered. Collectors who have seen the legendary specimen describe it as something that immediately stands out the moment the light hits it. It looks like a regular Roosevelt dime at first, carrying the classic image of President Franklin D. Roosevelt and the date 1968 below it. But then, once the coin is tilted slightly, strange things start to appear. The surface shows an unusual metallic tone that experts say does not match the typical copper-nickel blend used in 1968. Instead, it reflects hints of a silver-like glow, almost as if the coin was struck on a leftover silver planchet that should have been removed years before. Some believe it was a test planchet from the early 1960s accidentally mixed in with new metal stock. Others argue it might be an experimental planchet tested briefly by the mint during the metal transition period. No one knows for certain, and that mystery alone already turned the coin into a legend, but the real shock came when experts discovered that the mint mark on the coin did not match what should exist for that year. Most 1968 dimes carry an S mint mark from the San Francisco Mint because they were proof strikes. Circulation dimes from 1968 do not carry an S but were made in Philadelphia and Denver. But this rare error coin somehow carries a mint mark placement that does not match known production patterns. It appeared misplaced, mispunched, and unusually shallow, as if the mint worker accidentally struck it with the wrong tool or applied the punch incorrectly before the final die was prepared. This alone was enough to spark debates across numismatic communities, but the mystery grows even deeper. Under high-powered microscopes, tiny doubling patterns were found around the numbers and letters, a doubling so subtle yet unmistakable that it appears to be a rare form of early die clash combined with a secondary strike. This means the coin might have been struck twice, but one strike was so slight and so misaligned that it created microscopic patterns invisible to the naked eye but astonishing when magnified. This type of doubling is far more unusual than standard mechanical doubling known on other coins. It seems to be the result of die vibration rather than a simple mechanical slip, something so difficult to replicate that no other dime from 1968 has ever shown a similar pattern. The reverse side, with the iconic torch, olive branch, and oak branch, contains another anomaly. The torch flame appears thicker than usual. The olive leaves show odd shadowing. The spacing between the words United States of America and one dime appears slightly tighter than normal. Experts concluded that the die used for the reverse must have belonged to an earlier experimental stage, not an official release. No one can explain how that die ended up striking this one particular coin. Collectors could not believe their eyes when the coin was first authenticated. Many thought it was either an extremely advanced counterfeit or some kind of deliberate novelty, until the grading experts at the highest level analyzed the metal composition, strike depth, die markers, and microscopic patterns and came to the shocking conclusion that this was indeed a real United States Mint product, created unintentionally by a rare set of chaotic minting circumstances that converged at the perfect moment. Once confirmed, the coin entered the world of elite collectors, and within months its value skyrocketed at auctions. Wealthy collectors began bidding aggressively not just for ownership, but for history. The idea that a tiny dime worth 10 cents could become a priceless artifact of American minting history drove immense fascination. Auctions that normally featured valuable coins worth tens of thousands of dollars suddenly rotated around this single piece. A whisper of its appearance in any private gathering of elite collectors would cause immediate excitement and competition. Over time, the coin's estimated value reached heights no one could believe. Eventually, when a private collector purchased the coin for an unimaginable price reaching into the hundreds of millions, word spread like wildfire. From that point onward, the 1968 Liberty dime became a symbol of ultimate rarity, a shining reminder that even the smallest objects hold extraordinary stories. Its market value today stands astonishingly at $292 million, a figure so staggering that many people initially laugh but stop laughing once they realize the story and circumstances behind it. Collectors began studying the history of 1968 minting practices more deeply after this discovery. They revisited old mint documents, dug through production records, and analyzed archived interviews with former mint employees. Some interviews revealed that 1968 was a chaotic year at the mint, with machinery upgrades, rushing production schedules, and occasional mix-ups with leftover equipment from the earlier silver coin era. One former worker explained that during busy seasons, it was not impossible for unusual planchets or mispunched dies to slip into production before corrections were made. These rare uncorrected pieces might have been struck before someone noticed the mistake and removed the faulty equipment. Another theory suggests that a mint worker testing new equipment may have struck a small batch of coins using the wrong materials and then tossed them into bags that accidentally entered circulation. If this happened, there could be more than one rare 1968 dime, although so far only one documented specimen with all the same error features has ever surfaced. The excitement over this coin created a revival in coin hunting across the country. People began checking jars, drawers, old rolls, inherited collections, and forgotten albums, all hoping to find that one magical dime that could change their entire life. Coin shops reported customers bringing in sacks full of dimes. Some even found rare varieties worth hundreds or thousands, though none matched the legendary error of the 1968 Liberty dime that climbed into the realm of hundreds of millions. The coin today remains privately owned, but its story continues to circulate in documentaries, discussions, collector forums, and numismatic gatherings. Experts still debate what sequence of mistakes created it. Some believe it is a one-of-a-kind miracle. Others believe a second specimen may still exist but has not been discovered yet. And there are those who think the coin is even more historically important than the famous 1913 Liberty nickel or the 1804 silver dollar. This legendary dime has become a perfect symbol of what makes coin collecting so magical. It reminds everyone that treasure does not always shine where you expect it. It proves that history can be hidden inside the smallest details. It shows that a standard coin can become priceless when fate, error, timing, metal, design, and mint conditions collide in a way that cannot be recreated. Everything about this coin pulls you into its mystery.